We all stand at the precipice of our dreams, don't we? We yearn for monumental change, for a transformed life, for success that shines like a polished trophy. Yet how often do we find ourselves frozen, waiting for the perfect moment, the grand gesture, the sudden surge of motivation that never quite arrives? We convince ourselves that to achieve something truly great, we must make a massive leap, change everything overnight, or commit to an exhausting, all-consuming effort. And so we wait. We wait for the ideal diet to start, the perfect study schedule to appear, the uninterrupted stretch of time to begin that ambitious project. And in that waiting, nothing happens. Dreams remain dreams, quietly collecting dust in the corners of our minds. This is not a story about overnight success or miraculous transformations born from a single heroic act. This is a story about the quiet, relentless power of what is almost imperceptible. It's about a truth so simply it's so often overlooked that it holds the key not only to success, but to sustainable, deeply rooted change that lasts a lifetime. The truth is this: true greatness is not found in giant leaps, but in the accumulation of countless tiny, consistent daily steps. It's the magic of improving by just 1% every single day. Think about it. 1%. It sounds insignificant, doesn't it? Almost meaningless. How could such a tiny adjustment possibly lead to anything remarkable? This is where the incredible power of compounding comes into play, a force that works not only in finance, but far more importantly in personal growth. Imagine a tiny seed. It doesn't become a mighty oak overnight. It grows quietly, day by day, drawing nutrients, reaching for sunlight, adding fractions of growth to its roots and leaves. Over time, that steady, consistent growth compounds, and suddenly, a towering, magnificent tree stands before you. Let me tell you about Daniel. Daniel was a dreamer, like so many of us. His ambitions stretched skyward. He wanted to master a new programming language, get into the best shape of his life, and finally write the novel he had been planning for years. Every Monday, without fail, Daniel would launch into a new routine with warrior-like intensity. He spent hours coding, pushed himself to exhaustion at the gym, and wrote until his fingers ached. He committed to learning 50 new words a day, convinced that sheer willpower would carry him through. But by Wednesday, his energy faded. By Friday, his grand plans collapsed, replaced by a familiar sense of failure and self-criticism. He stared at the vast gap between where he was and where he wanted to be, and the sheer scale of effort overwhelmed him. He told himself, "I don't have enough time, or I'm not disciplined enough, or maybe I'm just not meant for this." Sound familiar? Daniel was trapped in the all-or-nothing mindset, waiting for perfect motivation that never came, or trying to change everything at once and burning out immediately. One day, after yet another failed attempt to turn his life around in a single weekend, Daniel stumbled upon an article about marginal gains. It described a cycling team that revolutionized their sport not by finding one massive advantage, but by improving hundreds of tiny details by just 1%. The article wasn't really about cycling, it was about life. It introduced Daniel to the 1% rule, the idea that improving by just 1% each day leads to a 37 times improvement over the course of a year. Conversely, getting 1% worse every day leads to near zero. The numbers were astonishing, but it was the simplicity that truly resonated with him. This time, Daniel decided to try something different. No dramatic announcements, no crushing expectations, just quiet commitment. Instead of aiming for hours of coding, he committed to 15 minutes a day. Just 15. It felt almost laughable, too small to matter. But he told himself, anyone can do 15 minutes. For fitness, instead of an intense hour-long workout, he chose 5 push-ups. Just 5. Every morning, before his shower. It was so easy that excuses simply disappeared. For vocabulary, he selected 5 new words a day from a dictionary app. 5 words. Not 50. Not 20. He wrote them down, learned their meanings, and tried to use each one in a sentence. The first few days felt anticlimactic. He wasn't exhausted, He didn't feel triumphant, but he was consistent. Every single day, 15 minutes of coding, 5 push-ups, 5 words, even on tired days, even on busy days. The commitment was so small that resistance barely existed. It's just 15 minutes, he reminded himself. Just 5 push-ups. Then something remarkable began to happen. After 1 week, Daniel had accumulated 105 minutes of focused study, more than any of his previous allowed attempts. He had completed 35 push-ups, still modest, but infinitely more than 0. He had learned 35 new words without feeling overwhelmed. He began to see the compounding effect. Those short daily coding sessions built a foundation. He wasn't an expert, but he was no longer lost. He understood basic syntax, fixed simple errors, and the fear of the blank screen faded. The daily push-ups made his arms stronger, his posture more confident. The new words began appearing in his reading, making him feel sharper and more engaged. But the real magic wasn't in the numbers, it was in his mindset. Daniel was no longer chasing motivation. He was building habits. He realized that persistence mattered far more than intensity. Tiny repeated actions were creating unstoppable momentum. Soon, 15 minutes of coding naturally became 20, then 30, not through force, but through interest. 5 push-ups became 10, then 15. 5 words sparked curiosity, expanding naturally. Daniel's journey wasn't defined by a dramatic breakthrough, but by steady progress. He didn't wake up one day as a genius, an athlete, or a best-selling author. He simply became better day by day, step by step. After a year, he had learned a new programming language, contributed to open-source projects, transformed his fitness, and was actively writing his novel chapter by chapter, paragraph by paragraph, 5 words at a time. His confidence grew not from praise, but from undeniable proof of consistency. He learned that greatness isn't something you're born with, it's something you build, brick by brick, habit by habit, 1% at a time. So what is your 1% today? What small, almost invisible step can you take toward the dream you've been holding on to? Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't try to change everything at once. Choose one small action. Do it today, then tomorrow, then the next day. Trust the process. Trust compounding. Because those tiny daily actions, repeated with consistency, will create momentum strong enough to transform your life in ways you once only dreamed were possible. Start small. Start today, and watch what happens. Asterisk, asterisk. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and leave your thoughts below. Every comment you leave is a source of motivation for me to create even better stories. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.